You don't need to be a millionaire to buy $1 million business. In fact, Beau's helped people buy seven-figure companies with as little as 10% down using SBA loans. And they often make back their investment in the first year. Beau, this idea sounds almost too good to be true. Can someone who's not wealthy really buy $1 million business?
Yes, we can help you. It's like, if you have the formula and understand it, it's actually not that difficult. I think the hardest part is defining your buy box and finding that profitable business and getting it to the finish line is not that hard once you get it under contract.
So walk us through it. How does SBA financing actually make this work?
We underwrite off the cash flow. It's a cash flow loan. We underwrite off the tax returns of the seller's business. If that cash flow supports the debt, we can finance 90% of the total acquisition costs, right? That could be purchase price plus working capital. So very high leverage. And the reason that banks do this is because a good chunk of that loan is guaranteed by the federal government. So that's why these loans, conventional loans, would never happen like this. This is really, I think people are finally catching on. It's, in my opinion, it's kind of like the gold rush of this era right now.
Can you give us a real example of someone who pulled this off, like did it 10% down or less with SBA financing, bought $1 million business or whatnot?
Lots of examples, and it works in franchise startups. So it doesn't even have to be an existing business. You get 90% financing on a franchise startup, but on a business acquisition, restaurant with a marina, 90% bank financing. The actual guarantor, the buyer, came in with no money, and he brought in 3 investor partners, and they brought all of the equity into the deal, and it closed, right? And so that's we have the we talked about this on a previous episode. We have the construction guy buying a construction company with none of his own money, 5% gift from his parents, seller carryback on standby, and 90%. Well, actually, it'll be about 80% bank financing. So yes, this is a very common occurrence in the space. And that's what's so unbelievable. Everybody thinks SBA is so difficult. I mean, is it paperwork? Is it a pain in the butt? Of course. But it's not that hard. And it's a game changer.
What are some of the biggest mistakes or misconceptions that people have about buying with an SBA loan?
I think people think it's really challenging. It's really not challenging. Okay, that's the number one misconception. Number 2, it's going to take forever. It doesn't. If you're prepared, you can close these deals in 60 days. Now, granted, a lot go longer because you got to collect a lot of paperwork. You got to get things lined up. You got to find the right lender. But they don't take that long. I don't think 60 days to close on a 7-figure business is too long. The other misconception is that a lot of people, if the loan amount's over $350 and there's no real estate in the deal, there is a collateral shortfall. So they will have to, if you own real estate, they will put a secondary lien on that real estate. So some people don't like that. That's like the one downfall. If you didn't own real estate, we could still do the deal. So you don't need collateral. That's a big myth right there. You could own nothing, but have good credit score, a little bit of money, and a little bit of credibility on transferable experience. Come in with none of your own money, and in theory, you close the deal because you could get a 5% seller carryback, and you bring in an investor for the 5% equity injection. So yeah, it's cool. Pretty good.
So if someone watching this wants to buy a business in the next, say, 12 to 18 months, what should they do first or next?
Get clear on what you want to buy, what your buy box is. We always talk about a buy box. What type of business? And in the beginning, you have no idea. You're like, there's millions of businesses. You got to start looking around and really get a feel of what it would be a right fit. I think that's why I like the approach our team does with the business assessment. And we give somebody an assessment, kind of aligns them with businesses that would be best suited for their abilities. What are they strong at? What do they work naturally and they're good at? And the other thing is what you really want to realize internally is, what do I like doing? You should do what you like doing and not do the shit you don't like doing. I think once you realize that, that's why people get into business ownership. It's because they don't want to do stuff they don't want to do. Now, you have to realize too is that when you're on the hook and you're have a big loan payment, you got to make it work. So you're going to probably in the beginning, it's not always going to be easy, I guess, but it's definitely worth it.
Yeah. So thanks for all that excellent advice and wisdom. If you're serious about buying a business in the next year, schedule a call with Beau at bookwithbeau.com. He'll map out your acquisition plan and see how SBA financing can work for you. Thanks, Beau.
If you're a solopreneur or small business owner, listen closely. Business growth isn't about working harder. It's about building smarter systems. It's about automation. And that's exactly what Go High Level Hire helps you do. Build your funnel, automate your follow-up, manage your team, all in one place. Click the link below, activate your trial, and see how much more efficient, automated, and profitable your business can be in just 30 days.
.com. Hey guys, Beau Eckstein here. If you enjoyed what you saw, please subscribe to this channel. We talk all things financing. I've been in the lending industry for over 20 years, and I'm happy to answer your questions and provide great content.